and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us for the Orange County State of the County Address presented by Mayor Jerry L. Demings, and thanks for being here for this press event. Joining us this morning are our commissioners, Commissioner Nicole Wilson from District 1, Myra Uribe, some of them are on their way, from District 3, Commissioner Maribel Gomez-Cordero from District 4, and from D5, Commissioner Kelly Martinez-Simrad, and from District 6, Commissioner Michael Mike Scott, and of course the man who delivered the address today, Mayor Jerry L. Demings. Mayor?
All right, thank you, Dr. Williamson. Thank you to all of you for being here today. Earlier, I delivered my final State of Orange County address to a record audience. Some nearly 1,200 people, I'm told, were here today. I'm grateful to everyone who joined us in person and online, and to the many individuals who have helped make the event possible. Our staff did a fantastic job of making certain that this went off today without a hitch. The message of today's presentation was simple. Orange County remains a great place to visit, live, work, raise a family, or open a business. Over the past nearly 8 years, our community has experienced tremendous growth and success while also navigating significant challenges, including COVID-19, Hurricane Ian, housing affordability, and transportation demands. Today's presentation reflected on the 5 pillars that have guided my administration: public safety, affordable housing, economic development, transportation, and community care. We highlighted major investments in our first responders, affordable housing, mental health services, transportation improvements, environmental stewardship, and programs that support children, seniors, and families. We also celebrated the continued strength of our nation and our tourism economy here within Florida, which welcomed a record 76.7 million visitors to Orange County in 2025. I'm proud of what we have accomplished together and grateful for the opportunity to have served as the Orange County Mayor. We have about 6 months left from today to continue our service, and I look forward to each and every day. What I'm going to do at this time is open it up for any questions that any of you may have. The questions can be for me or any of our commissioners who have joined us here today.
So one thing that your successor will have to deal with, and the Board of Commissioners as well, is this property tax proposal. What are your thoughts on that plan that's going to be on the ballot, and your thoughts about what voters should do?
Well, the voters are going to have to make a decision. If it appears that this is going to the ballot, it will require at least 60% plus one person in order for that to pass and to really be codified within the state of Florida. So there's a lot of work that has to be done. We have to educate the voting populace about the true impacts of the tax reduction and the impacts on our communities. There's no question that here in our state of Florida, our communities continue to need additional services. And if there's conversation about reducing taxes significantly, that's going to impact the ability of Florida's counties and municipalities to deliver those services. Here in Orange County, we know that the projection for 2027 is that if it passes, we're talking about $160 million impact on our county, a reduction in taxes. In 2028, that will grow to about $270 million. Those are significant numbers for us. But all good government should always look for opportunities for efficiency, and we continue to do that. But by the same time that we have been looking for efficiencies, inflation has taken hold. The cost of everything is up. I don't have to tell the people of Orange County that the cost of everything is up. If it's up for our residents, then it's up for your government as well. The price of gas is significantly impacting our first response agencies who have to drive tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of miles annually. Just to get them to deliver that service is costing the taxpayer significantly now. and we can't create money. As a local government, our budgets have to balance. We're not like the federal government in which they can run deficits. We cannot. And so we're going to continue to educate our public over time about the consequences of any tax policies, but also reassure them that we're going to continue spending their money in the best way that we possibly can.
Mayor, one of the things you've been warning about over and over throughout your administration is the long-term impact of our transportation needs. You put it on the ballot a couple times, you pulled it a couple times, you decided not to do it this year. What is your sort of parting message to our region, our leaders, everybody, about the long-term transportation need that needs to eventually be met?
The need for a multimodal transit system remains a significant challenge for us in this community. Until we adequately address that, we can't adequately address the housing challenges that we have. We can't adequately address some of the issues related to sustainability and better managing our environmental impacts. If we continue to just rely on single vehicle automobiles, then we will continue to damage our environment. We will continue to need to expand roadways. And we cannot build enough roadways to build ourselves out of the challenges that we have associated with population growth. It is significant all over the state of Florida. It's certainly significant here in Central Florida, the #1 tourist destination in North America. Those impacts are going to continue to grow for us. So we have got to figure out how to afford a multimodal transit system for all of us, not just the average workers, but all of us need that as a community. And so the next boards of county commission, the next leaders in this community are going to have to wrestle with that issue. The citizens are going to have to wrestle with that issue.
Mayor, I know you talked about the TDT task force and reconvening that one last time in your term to kind of figure out how you might spend that. What's your hope for that process, just in terms of what projects might emerge and how it might differ from prior similar processes?
We had to wait for the legislative session to end this year. There were no modifications to the eligible expenditures associated with the tourist development tax. And because of that, we can only spend the money as defined by Florida statute. So this summer, because of record-breaking tourism numbers, our tourist development tax receipts are at all-time highs. We, as a community, need to take a look at those revenues and decide what the priorities should be, rather than just the politicians meeting amongst ourselves and trying to make that decision. My style of leadership is to involve the people directly into the process. Ultimately, it will be the decision of the Board of County Commissioners how those dollars will be spent. But it should be predicated upon the input from the people who pay our salaries, the people who pay the taxes in Orange County. And so that's why I will re-impanel this group of volunteer citizens to give us input in making recommendations. It is my hope that the Board of County Commission will accept what the people bring us and what the people say, just as we did a few years ago.
Mayor Demings, first off, thank you for your 45 years of service
Yes,
and your 2 terms. Now, being a citizen of Orlando, what should we expect from you as our governor next?
Okay. So I'm going to say the political questions for last, and I'll talk about the governorship last. So if you can just hold that question, I won't intertwine what I do as governor or running for governor into my primary responsibility right now is to the people of Orange County. And so I'll stay centered on Orange County for right now. All right.
I need you to mention 2 things.
Yes.
Almost 8 years in office. One thing you think you did great. One thing you think you, looking back on it, would have done differently.
Well, I think one of the things we did great was to be forward thinking. Okay. One of those legacy projects that we have put in place is the Housing Trust Fund. that our residents affirmed that we were doing the right thing by overwhelmingly passing that on the ballot. And as a result of that, the trust fund that will deal with housing affordability in perpetuity will be a lasting legacy for us. So I think we got that right. Okay. In terms of what could we have done better, we continue to struggle with our transit options. There were some things that we could control. We could control how much we talked about it, how we tried to identify the problem and potential solutions. But it wasn't enough to convince the people. What we couldn't control was an economy that went south because of a global pandemic and all of the consequences of that. We could not control that. So the next Board of County Commissioners are going to have to wrestle with that because the challenge, the problem didn't go away. It's still there. And so on behalf of our residents, the nearly 1.6 million people who call Orange County home, I hope the next board sees that as one of their significant priorities.
What's
All
one
right.
piece of advice that you want to pass on to whoever the next mayor is?
Pray first, aim high, and stay focused.
Affordable Housing Trust Fund is great. There's been wonderful progress. The 10-year goal is impressive. What else can be done to tackle that difficult issue, not just from a government perspective, but maybe working with citizens and private partnerships as well?
Again, you cannot solve the housing affordability challenge without also solving the transportation challenges. They're interconnected. And I think that interconnectivity in a growing community can sometimes create frustration for all of us. Traffic congestion and the environmental impacts from that traffic congestion remain large for us. I don't have to tell you all, when you move around this community by whatever mode of transit, it's a challenge for you. It's a safety issue. It's a quality of life issue for us. It is a major issue for us going forward in this community. That we have got to tackle that issue. So some of the other things, we're tackling them. You know, it's a myriad of issues. Yes?
Yeah. You talked about the 5 pillars of what you've accomplished in the past 8 years. I want to ask you, how would the property tax changes that are proposed in the ballot, how would those impact those pillars? I mean, would it be like Samson knocking them down? What would the effect be of those property tax cuts on the things that you see as accomplished?
Well, it's going to be a situation where we'll have to reassess what government must do. There are basic services that your government should be providing. But then there are other services that are discretionary, services that tend to be the social services that we invest in to take care of the human experience that we have here, to take care of humanity. Sometimes we provide some services for the least of those in our community who cannot afford it. They cannot afford to pay taxes. They cannot afford to pay fees. And those are services, quite frankly, that the rest of us who can afford to pay taxes, afford to pay fees, are able to better take care of them. And so that's the community care piece that is really large. And unfortunately, whenever governments find themselves having to reduce their budgets, the services that get cut first are those discretionary services, those social services. And that's the reality of what we have to think about. It's a disproportionate impact on poor people. People who are billionaires or who are wealthy can usually afford to make the adjustments. It's those poor working class people, in many cases, who cannot afford to pay another dime, but they need the services. And so the rest of us are the ones who help to pay for those services. And so this community is going to have to understand that, while those who own homes, because right now this conversation about tax reduction is about people who own a home and live in the home. And that's only probably about 40% or so of our population, approximately. The rest of the people are renters. and they won't directly receive the benefit of tax reductions. In fact, if we transfer the additional needs to the commercial real estate taxpayers, that burden on them may go up. And what they do is they're going to pass it on to their customers. They will pass it on to their renters. And so that's, in the bigger scheme of things, that's not a very comprehensive approach to dealing with the challenges that we have.
We'll take one more local question, then we can move to the gubernatorial conversation.
Mayor, tied to travel, obviously record levels of visitors to the region last year with sort of the economic factors at play, including inflation. What are you hearing on that end, just in terms of sentiment towards travel to Orange County and whether levels will remain or even exceed that level?
Well, because of geopolitical issues happening across the globe, international visitation may be impacted, but here within our community, because of the investments of our theme parks and others, people are continuing to come here. They still see value in the dollars that they will spend to get here. And so that is indicative of the fact that our tourist development tax receipts are up. Our hoteliers and others are doing fairly well. Consequently, we're doing okay as a local economy because of tourist development tax receipts. So it is an industry that is supporting us. But space exploration, that's another big industry that is taking off, and the value associated with having the University of Central Florida here, providing that pipeline of talent and everything that is happening there. So in terms of technology and innovation, I think that is helping to stabilize our local economy to some great extent. We talked about sports tourism. You know, when people come to visit us with these international sporting events, they are spending money in our community. Every community around the globe, certainly in America, would love to have what we have in that regard. That's helping to stabilize us overall. So I think we stay focused. We're going to have to continue to diversify our economies and lean into innovation. All right. So I'll transition. Let me just say this about my run for governor. Today, I'm going to be very transparent with all of you here. I've had to make some decisions here recently about running for governor. My family, they can come up and join, because Monday of this week, I received some bad news from my doctor, who confirmed that I have prostate cancer. And because of that, I am going to suspend my campaign for governor. I'm going to focus on my health. That will become the priority. I'm only sharing this because I'm in this very visible public position. I'm sharing about a private matter. I intend to continue running through the finish line as the mayor of Orange County. It's about 6 months from today. But in order for me to receive the treatment that I need, I'm going to have to come off the campaign trail. I have to let something go. I can't continue to do my job as mayor, take care of my family, and run for governor. So I made a difficult decision. All those people who have supported me in this run, who have believed in me as I have run for governor, I say thank you to all of them. My campaign was evolving to the point where we really could win the campaign. But if I have to come off the campaign trail so that I can still do my job, still go to treatment, I got to let something go. So we have been prayerful about the decision that I made. I just told my children yesterday, okay? I was told Monday. And so, fortunate for me, because I'm relatively healthy, I go to the doctor on a regular basis. You know, 1 in 6 men will get prostate cancer. With African American men, it's even worse, 1 in 4. And so, don't have a history of it in my family, but because I have continued to go to the doctor, take all my various tests, I've gone through everything that they needed to do to verify what it is, and so that's the bad news. But I'm going to focus now on my health. I'm going to focus on living. I'm not going to focus on running for another office. So that's the news I've shared with you today. I realize that it's somewhat breaking news all over the state of Florida, perhaps in other places in the nation. But I had a wonderful career, 45-year career where I have given 100% during that time. I have not been home during hurricanes, other emergencies. I've been out serving the people. My prayer was that I would continue to serve at a different level. But if I don't take care of my own health, I won't serve anybody. I won't serve my family. So thank you all. I'm not going to take any questions on that at this time, but what I say to all of you, may pray for me. Pray for America.
We will continue to support you.
America has got some challenges. Pray for America. Thank you all so much.
Thank you all.